Hello YouTube, it's another day. As promised, I am going to process these transformers that we have. Everything is all completely disassembled and we got all of them set up out there by the workstation. One thing I wanted to bring to your attention here is we have three different kinds of transformers. Let me explain. Those last three that I didn't do on camera, I pulled the transformers out of there. We got one copper coil right here, and then this is an aluminum coil. So these are aluminum copper transformers. When they're down into this stage, I mean, I figured I might as well crack them anyways, because I am going to get a little copper chunk out of there. But then they'll have, you know, I think they'll, my yard classes these at like sheet aluminum price, which is okay. And since I'm taking a pile of steel cores there anyhow, might as well break them. But if this was a double aluminum, I would sell it probably just as transformers, because it's got good weight, you know. Well, the second style of transformers that we have here are these ones here. Okay. Typically the transformers that I run into, they have 4 welds on them, and they're facing the top and the bottom side of each side of this transformer. Those are the ones that are specifically meant to run through my hydraulic press. These are different. There's no welds on top and bottom. That's you know, usually when they have a weld is where they'll have 2 separate pieces of steel that is basically binding the copper windings together, creating a transformer. Anyways, these ones, the only spot where the steel separates is this top cap here. The rest of this is like a consistent piece of steel that's going to look like an E once I pull the coils out. So I got to remove this top side, this top part, and slide these coils off of this E that they're wrapped around. Okay. Now, basically, I have to do those by hand. My machine does not do these. I rarely run into these at all. And they got a weird glazing over the material, but either way, we're going to separate it. We're going to get our number 2 price. We're going to get our steel. And I guess I'll bring those aluminum coils in too. But really, half of these are this, and then the other half are the ones that my machine will run. See how this one, for instance, right? We have a weld there and there. There's a weld here and there. Okay. The way this steel core works is the left and the right side, they're going to fall off once I run it through my hydraulic press. So this piece, this transformer, has 3 separate pieces of steel. You know, you'll have your center core, which will basically look like basically just a center core, really, and then you'll have your 2 sides, and then it'll come apart. Usually on the transformers that I run into, I'm going to say that, you know, you see how these weld spacings right here, they're consistent on both sides, there and there. Usually the ones I would get would have one side looking like this, and then this other side, the welds would be set way farther apart, like on each side right here and there. These ones have welds on both spots, side to side, on both ends. Still, I can run them through the press, but I just have to be careful about how I run them in there. I'll probably explain you or show you guys that later on in this video, but I just wanted to explain to you guys that although all of those light fixtures looked about the same, besides these three right here that were in the white casings, these ones, they looked exactly the same taking them apart. And what I'm thinking is look at the age difference on them. This transformer definitely had a bad day at one point. This started burning out and melting and stuff. Okay, this transformer looks a lot older than this one right here. That's basically the same. but in different variances, difference. Like this is going to go through the hydraulic press. This one I'm going to have to bang out manually with a hammer, and we'll show you what I mean by that. But either way, I really just wanted to show you the differences between the three that I have here, and at least only 3 of them out of the whole batch are aluminum copper, so it's really not too bad of a loss. It would be nice if those last 3 were double copper like all the other ones, but that's just not the case sometimes. And it's my guess that this building here bought a bunch of these first, and then they liked them, so a year or 2 later they probably bought the same brand, which had switched around the way that they made their transformers throughout that time. So that's what makes them slightly different. They're the same in length and width, basically. See? One difference that I could say is maybe there is a little bit less copper in this one. This one looks a lot thicker. Looking at it like that, look, there's a 1/2 inch difference. Yeah, interesting. But we got to get these going if we're going to, you know, we got to get them going if we're going to get to the scrapyard and cash them in today, because that's really what I want to do. I was ambitious yesterday when I said I wanted to do the motors, transformers, ballast, everything all together. Yeah, well, it always sounds great in theory, right, until you actually get to it. But at the same time, I'm creating, I'm editing, slightly entertaining, so there's other things I'm doing at hand here. And yeah, all right, we're gonna get up there and get to work. I'm not gonna be really saying much. You guys are gonna get 2 great camera angles that I got ready for you, and we're just gonna get up there and jam them out. And if I feel like there's an important piece of information or something or another that I need to involve, I'll have it in text in the video. But right now, my goal is to get these processed and turned in. All right, and merchant metals and Mason boy's running around. He's looking for squirrels, man. But yeah. All right. That's all I got to say. I think that wraps it up. We're gonna get to work. All right, we are going to get started here. Yep. I'm gonna hop up on the truck right now and get that other camera going. It's set up on the crane right up high. Got some work next door too, so you guys will have background sounds. Okay. Oop, I gotta get all the way up there. Oh. All right, we'll see you in a few. It's gonna be windy. Got one set up in there already. Got that glazing on it, and it's making the ends tougher to pop off, which is fine. These ones are tougher than I thought. I don't run into these often. That plastic, I think it makes it harder. That plastic glue and varnish, usually I can get all these in one hit. They're different. They're different. I'm gonna have to switch up my tactic because I can't get these ones in one swing, man. That's different. I think they need to be small coil side up like that, or else it's going to be harder, because I'm trying to beat through the thicker coil. That's what it looks like. It might not let me do it like that. I don't know. There. So I learned something just now. Don't try to knock them through with the big coil side up. I'm struggling because of that. That's something I just learned. Always try to relieve the small one first, the coil. Yeah, I didn't say that you had to not work for it, right? But that was a lesson learned right there. I'm thinking maybe I can even switch this one back up right now and try to pound the core back through the other side. That might work better, right? See, I was able to get that coil off. At least one of them a lot easier. Okay, I think we'll get back into a rhythm. Small coil side up, right? See, I'm doing it again. Small coil side up, right there. And that should help us. Let's start cracking some more though. These aren't normal ones for me. And it goes downhill from there, because this other set of transformers I gotta beat manually, because they don't work in the hydraulic press. All right. They are cracking nicely though. They are popping nicely. If you guys have been seeing the method I've been doing to get these off, it's like a double tap I have to do, because each side comes off, but there's a center core in the center in between these coils. There's like a small E on them all. It looks they're different, man. They're taller too, so I had to set my hydraulic press down another notch. Not that that's giving me a problem or anything, but so we're gonna start with the small ones first, right? Yeah, okay. I'm thinking they're so tough to get out because all the glue and varnish that's on some of these, like that one there. See, look at that. Hey, even if it takes a few swings on them, these are still worth it. Wow. We're getting some good stuff off of them though. That's for sure. Oh, we're not done yet here, are we? See that? That's what's holding them in and causing me to like hit them twice to get them loose. A little different anyways. But we're going through them. I feel like we're going through them at a reasonable pace. Definitely not as fast as I would usually go, but you want these to sit flat. Punch out a lot easier. That's how we'll do them. Oh no, I missed. Yeah, man, I know, right? That guy over there. Some of them are just tough. the glue is holding it together. Okay, but these are the abnormal ones where you got to punch them with a hammer. You got to smack it with a hammer a couple times to free up the top cap, and then you got to beat the copper coil from this E. The stock steel, it resembles a long E. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys right now what I'm talking about for sure. But these got to be hammered out manually, and hopefully they don't put up too big of a fight doing it. Probably something that I wouldn't pass up on, I guess. Mason! Mason! Get back here! He chased a squirrel down the fence line over there. You stay on this side. They're okay over there, they're not over here. Okay, so I'm unsure if that camera is getting it, but basically what we're going to do with this is overhang it just past the point of that main weld on each side, and then we're going to smack that piece of steel until it falls in the bucket. Then we'll be able to slide these coils out that way. So hopefully this is okay. That looks like a pretty darn hefty weld right there too, but yeah, hopefully it won't take too long. They're tough. They are tough. But that coil slid out nicely. I'm almost wondering if this will be an easy peasy one. Okay, got a couple of pieces of steel in there stacked in between the two coils. You can pull those out. They're just two little chunks like that. Maybe smack it like that. Look at that. So these slide apart nicely. So as soon as I'm able to get that top cap broke off each one, should be a piece of cake getting this apart. I gotta like weaken both sides, it seems. Those little steel cores, you got to remove those before it slides out anyway. So these are a little bit annoying, but doable. Tried a couple hits on each side, try to figure out how many smacks it takes. Probably in between 7 or 8. That's unfortunate, but we are retrieving pretty good copper, right? Sweet. Okay. There might be a method yet to this. Three hits on each side. I'm thinking 8 swings. 8 swings gets these about loose. They're not too bad. So it looks like in between 8 and 10 swings for me to just kind of easily knock the steel off. If I swung harder, I could probably get less and less swings, but I'm not trying to endanger my other wrist or hand by smashing it with a hammer. I've done stuff like that before. So yeah, man. Swinging heavy hammers, careful, you can smash your finger right off. I've done that before, close to it. It's not good times. But if you're confident, go ahead. You'll be doing it up to the day you smash your finger. I feel like controlled, smaller hits is safer. It's separating. These welds are, they look like they welded over it 3 times in a row. Still not wanting to come off. Gosh, I hope the camera catches how thick the welds are too. It's pretty funny. Maybe they didn't pass weld inspection on the first go, so they're like, all right, lay some more beads over it. Maybe, right? You can almost pull them off. Like, see, there's 3 welds on this one. One there, one there, one there. Only one of them is holding it together, really, I think. That one took less. This one got melted. The coil's burnt all on the inside. Okay. It wants me to rip this one out. Starting to get a nice bucket full. unfortunately, after these ones, I got one more process to do before I can consider that number 2 copper. All the bigger coils on these, I'm just going to smack with a hammer and clean up, and then we're going to weigh it. That's what we're going to do. There. We got a few left. And then I think we're gonna load these and go to the scrapyard and get a little payday today, okay? I'm getting ready to unload my pockets to get new axles on the trailer. It's gonna be costly. That was nice. I should have done them like that. Oops. While I was doing this, I kind of decided not to process those aluminum copper ones. I'm just going to leave those 3. And we'll account for those later as like copper transformers, whatever. It's got some copper in it, but we got one more to do. Then we can load and go and get to the scrapyard. These need persuasion to open up. Now to clean these up, I thought I'd bring a hatchet with me. So I got this empty barrel. We're gonna start making the majority of this copper look like this, all pulled apart, basically. So we're gonna do that. Anything with a big coil like this, we'll just chop it with the hatchet. See? We're just going to do that real quick on all of them. I mean, they're almost willing to do it on their own, see? But what we're doing is we're getting rid of most of the plastic that's around them when we crack them like that. The stuff almost flies apart off of the copper, so pretty easy stuff to clean. Easy as that, really. Besides not having a good time taking apart the different transformers, I thought, I don't know what made me thought that I'd be able to run them all through that. I should have took a better second-hand look at them. This one's not even plastic, it's cardboard of some flavor. That's good. I'm very happy to run into as many lights as I did those last few nights I was out. If you get the most of the plastic off of there and you stretch the coil out a little bit, that's more than enough for number 2. And personally, I think it's a quick upgrade. A hatchet splits them wide open almost every time. Smack each side and just bust a little plastic off of it. I don't know how much we have here, but we're gonna weigh it before we go. All right, we are 100% finished with these transformers, man. This is a big old bucket of copper, and here's a bucket of steel cores. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the crane to swing the steel cores right into the car. I can probably throw that bucket in by myself, and then we're gonna throw those 3 bags of cast in, and we're gonna shoot over the scrapyard and see what all that was worth. If we have room, we'll throw the shrouds in too, but I don't think we're going to even fill the car up, so that's why I'm taking it. Anyway, here's the scale. I'm turning it on. Zeroed out. Throw the copper on there first. This is probably a 7 or 8 pound tear on that bucket right there. But we got 111 pounds that came from 27 copper transformers. That is good if you ask me. 111 pounds. Divide that, well, 111 pounds of copper, and then we're going to throw the steel cores on. Yep. And you'll get a basic total weight by doing math of how much the cores were and how much copper there was. We'll do all that later. Oh. All right. Then there's 209 pounds of steel cores. Then there was 111 pounds of copper, minus a pound or 2 for the plastic weight that was lost. We'll have to clean that up. And yeah, we're gonna get this loaded up into the car right now, and we're gonna get to the scrapyard and see how we did. We know for sure we got over 100 pounds right there, so it should be a decent payday at least. But anyways, me and Mason Boy are actually here right now to be turning in those HID light fixtures. I have all the cast aluminum, all the sheet aluminum, and all the steel and all the copper from that whole thing of basically all 30 of the light fixtures, minus the 3 that are aluminum copper. I decided to not do those. We'll just add those into the tally when we get back. But those copper aluminum transformers, there's not really a whole lot. There's not really a whole lot of copper in them. There might be a pound or two, something like that. Trying to save our battery, so we're right down the street. I'm going to cut it right back on once we get there. All right, it looks like there's nobody in line, man. That's good for me. Okay, that is good. I'm going to toss my gloves on and get over there and start unloading my stuff. You latched it back down. That's okay.
Oh yeah. We're breath. We had a breath.
Busy day?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I come pulling up, there's not a single car right here. I'm like, cool.
It is 4:30, by the way.
Yeah, I only got a few other
Usually
things,
it's
really.
lineup. We had a lineup at 3 o'clock, so I like it.
Right.
End of day lineup kills it. You're just itching to go, you know.
We got cash. Just throw a sheet. Here?
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Mason, get back in now. Get back up there. Oh no! It's stuck. There we go. Put them in there. Cool, cool. I'll make sure.
Grab them up.
Yep, I'll make sure to take them. Yeah, every time you turn it off, it turns back on. Do you hear it?
Oh my, why does it do that?
I don't know. That is the second time that happened. Yeah. One more. All right, 127 cast.
127.
Yeah. Nice.
That's it?
I got a couple other things.
Yep, there, look at all your bags right here.
Oh yeah, that's good. I'll reuse them. And then I have, yeah.
Easy, brother.
No, it's
Transformers?
It's steel.
Oh, just try it.
Yeah, and then I got copper next.
Alright, go on.
Where's your dollar? There it is. I knew there was one floating around here somewhere.
Ready for the bucket?
Those are like 7 or 8.
Damn. So we'll do 7, 12, 3. Basura.
Yeah. Good.
All right, what's next? Copper?
Good.
What kind of copper?
Number 2 copper.
Number 2.
I got lucky and ran into a batch of light fixtures.
Hell yeah. Store.
Those are always nice when they come across them for free, you know.
Yeah.
Stretched all the coils out so it's clean, right?
Number 2.
Good. The old man doesn't like all the other stuff on there, plastic and...
Yeah, something that fits well.
I don't know the tear on this bucket.
Alright, so 111. We'll go dump it. Yeah,
Alright.
dump it right hard.
The basket right into it. Alright.
Alright, wear it up. 111.
7.
Brother, that's it, Redbeard?
Yep, that sure is
Thanks,
it.
brother. You have a great one.
Yeah, you too, man. Appreciate it. Hey, you guys been running into any decent transformers? Not really.
It's in our box, you know, the big dog. You bring it to you.
Yeah, every now and then I need to pop up in there and throw the double coppers out for my press.
You know, you're more than welcome to.
You know.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, that one up top right there, that one looks pretty juicy.
Big dog, yeah.
Yep. Just take a little peek. Yeah, there's a couple of big ones. That copper's got big spacings in between. That's probably why I wouldn't. But there's one right there. If that's double copper, definitely worth doing. But see that BX right there? I believe that's steel clad BX. I think. Last year this place crushed probably about, I don't know, 10,000 US postal vehicles, those little Grummins. 3,600 pounds. Did I read this? Did I read that right? Why is the car weighing 3,600 pounds? Is that usually how much it weighs? I don't know. We'll see in a bit. All right, we are leaving the scrapyard. We're gonna go read off the receipt and let you guys know how we did. Let's get down. Maybe I can get out right now. It's rush hour through here, man. If you got an opportunity to get out there, you get out there. Yep. place to park right there again. Maybe right here, I guess. Yeah, there's one spot. Alright. Let's go over that receipt. For the HID light fixtures, all the metals that went with that I had gotten that night. So it's basically the whole light fixture. You're talking sheet aluminum, cast aluminum. We got, you know, like it's going to be steel shred and our copper. So we're going to read that off right now. And yeah, he looks like he wants to go for a walk. We'll probably have to do that. But all right, so here's our receipt. We have aluminum sheet, 50 pounds I brought in, and that was 55 cents a pound. That brought me $27.50. Those were the light domes. Mason, you're gonna have to wait, buddy. We had cast aluminum. I had 127 pounds. Those were all the casings to them light fixtures. 50 cents a pound for cast aluminum. That paid me $63.50. Shred steel, I had 203 pounds, and you know, it's 180 gross ton here. That paid me $16.31 for the shred steel. Number 2 copper, 104 pounds at $3.90 a pound. That paid me $4. Edit. $405.60. Let me repeat that. It was $405.60 for the number 2 copper that came out of those transformers. Our rounding adjustment was 9 cents. The amount of non-ferrous we brought in was 484 pounds. I can't quite say that because 203 pounds of that was steel. So, well, let's just say the total material weight brought in was 484 pounds for a grand total of $513. Not bad. Not bad for picking the lights. I'm happy with that. That's extra money in hand, right in my pocket. And you know, like, if you would have turned in that light fixture just the way it was, you'll get probably paid breakage price for it. It's breakage at that point. You have to disassemble it and turn it into organized products to get a better price, like $513, right? So happy with the payday. I'm not quite happy that it took me 2 days to do this. I had other things going on. I'm getting my axles ordered today. I've been dealing with stuff like that, so yeah. Anyways, Mason, tell everybody goodbye. Hey, come here. Goodbye. No, he's like, no, take me for a long walk. Yeah. I think we're going to go for a golf cart ride. Yeah. That's where we're heading. Everybody have a good night. It's Tuesday. I'll probably not have this video out till Wednesday. That's kind of starting to seem like what the schedule's turning into. I'm dabbling with 4K quality, and I would like to provide that, but I find it almost impossible to do an hour-long video in 4K every single day. I don't know. My setup's not fast enough. I don't have a solid internet connection. That's really what it boils down to, is I'm using a phone just for the hotspot to plug, you know, like to run all my things, basically. And the only way around it, I think, is if I get a Starlink, and those can be very pricey. So, all right, everybody have a good one. Me and Mason are gonna go enjoy the rest of our evening. Tomorrow we'll probably work on those motors and ballasts and transformers and try to get all that stuff done. Then we're gonna jump in the backyard and then work on the granulator and get that thing all set up, ready to rock and roll, to process all the wire we got. Plus we still got that bed load of stuff I didn't pull out of the truck yet. We're gonna add on to that pile tomorrow, because tomorrow we go to the concrete jungle. Yeah. I'm still struck between if I should take the truck or the car. I think I might take the car, but I don't know. We'll see.
I worked so long in construction that I forgot I had a dream. Didn't know where I was going, didn't like where I had been. So one day I gave it all up when my eyes were open wide. I packed my life into my truck with Mason Boy by my side. I kept driving, but I had to make ends meet. I started thriving by scrapping industry, dumpster diving, street scrapping throughout America. From Michigan to Ohio, down to Florida. Merchant metals, recycle, don't destroy. Merchant metals and my dog Mason Boy. Merchant metals, thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up and say hi. Myself a trailer, so when I'm on the road, I have a rolling workshop and can scrap a heavy load. When it feels like life is hard, I know just what to do. I hit the road and recycle scrap and make my dreams come true. I kept driving, but I had to make ends meet. I started thriving by scrapping in the street, dumpster diving, street scrapping throughout America. From Michigan to Ohio, down to Florida. Merchant metals, recycle, don't destroy. Merchant metals and my dog Mason Boy. Merchant metals, thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up and say hi. Merchant metals, recycle, don't destroy. Merchant metals and my dog Mason Boy. Merchant metals, thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up and say hi.